Training camp is almost here. We've been watching the workout clips of all these NFL players. Shedeur Sanders have been dropping a lot of workout clips, almost one a day. He dropped another. I'm adding it into the montage. We're covering all the clips. We're going to talk ball on him, but before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're covering all the practice clips from training camp of your favorite players, those rookies, those quarterback battles, especially those guys you're drafting in fantasy football. It's all going to be right here. It's free. Click that button. Stop missing out on what your players are doing behind the scenes. But we're watching him work out today. We're watching him run, throw the ball around, work through some drills, and all that. 4.5 minutes of clips. Let's go. Let's rock it. We'll keep talking ball. We'll loop this like we always do. But here we go. Working on that speed. We're running. Late at night. Late at night. And this quarterback battle can get very ambiguous, hot in a hurry. And if he keeps stacking days like he did, rookie camp, minicamp, OTAs, then things are going to get very hot in the back end of training camp. Joe Flacco's running with the ones. They're seeing what they got in Kenny Pickett. They're looking at Dillon Gabriel. He's been rocking with the 3s and 4s. Got some opportunities with the 2s. Back at minicamp, I think it was the second or third practice when they gave Flacco a little breather. But all in all, whatever they threw out in front of him, he cashed in this whole time. That's the thing. And we're watching this quarterback battle daily of the Cleveland Browns. Daily. Throughout training camp. We've done it so far. We did it last year, honestly, with Deshaun Watson through practices. We've been watching Browns quarterbacks for longer than we should be on this channel. It just happens to be that way for some reason. The Browns do a good job of getting clips out on their players. They do a very good job of broadcasting what's going on in practice. One of the better teams, like when it comes to getting practice clips out, there are some practices you'll get almost every throw. That's the thing about that. Where some teams, you're lucky to get 5 clips of your quarterback throughout the whole offseason. Some teams, like the Dallas Cowboys, like you got to search for those. The Chargers, the Rams. Some teams, Chargers actually pretty decent. The Rams, though, you got to work to find clips on them. But the Browns, they're going to be right out in front of you. A lot of people have questions on whether or not why we don't see bad clips of Shedeur. I get that a lot in the comment section. It's because there aren't any. He's been looking good, completing around 80% of his passes. I say around, depending on the site, ESPN Cleveland had him around 77. I've seen some different numbers. It's just hard to be at practice, being around all those people, keeping an eye on things, getting all the numbers tallied up. That's around 80%. I believe it. I have all the clips. I showed it. I got a 50-minute video of his highlights. Rookie camp, minicamp, and OTAs. I believe it. I saw it all. We cover this on the daily. He's an accurate passer. He's got a gun on him. He's good back pylon. Solid. By the sideline. By the boundary. When the guy's covered, he can fit it in there. What's the questions we want to see answered in training camp? We want to see him against pressure. We want to see if he drifts back a lot in the pocket while he's getting pressured. We saw that a little bit with Colorado. However, the question with that, the offensive line in Colorado. So we really want to see what this looks like with the Browns and how things materialize. And he's a big-time prospect. He just is. Now, if you're wondering who's going to finish as the starter, you have to remember the Browns are the Browns. And this is a very conservative coaching staff. They brought in Joe Flacco. I imagine Joe Flacco is going to finish the job as the starter this offseason. I imagine he's going to be the guy. Sorry if I'm fumbling words too much. I got strep throat and I'm working through it. But I imagine Joe Flacco is going to finish as the guy for the Browns. I imagine the coaching staff is thinking this way. And I could just see it from watching interviews and everything else. That if we can cut down turnovers and if we make that 1 or 2 plays every game, maybe we can squeak through some wins and we just grind it out through the season. Maybe we can backdoor in the playoffs. And they're thinking they could possibly do that with Flacco. They got their veteran presence there. They know more about him. They know more about him NFL-wise. He's been in the system. He's been in the league. He's been everywhere. They know what they got with Flacco. They're probably going to feel safe with him. Safe's not always the best thing. It might be good enough to get you 8 wins, 7 wins. It might be good enough to get you 5, 7, 6, 9. What about the upside play? What's the upside play here? Definitely not Kenny Pickett. That's a huge gamble with what we've seen in the NFL. He hasn't really amounted to much. It wasn't a good prospect coming out of college. I believe he got overdrafted. It wasn't even my top quarterback in that bad quarterback class. It was a bad class. Nobody was really pegging him to be the first quarterback off the board or even a first-round pick. He's not even that good of a passer. Steelers just got gaslit in drafting him. Jordan Addison got him pushed to the first round pretty much. That's how good of a wide receiver he is. Shedeur Sanders is a better prospect profile. When you look at those two guys talk in practice, like on the side, while they're discussing things, it looks like Shedeur's teaching him things. If you really watch that, it looks like Shedeur's teaching Kenny Pickett things, which he's the vet. He's been in the league longer. You should know a few more things than him, obviously. But no, Shedeur looks like a vet back there. He looks like a vet back there. I mean, maybe not on the roads when he's driving. That's a joke. But maybe you're looking at a guy coming into his own, or maybe from what you've heard is actually true, that this is a very good quarterback prospect that we saw at Colorado. I do a lot of Colorado content. I cover high school recruiting with them throughout the offseason, January, February, March. So I'm in tune with their fan base. And this is always been a good prospect. You're watching Shedeur, you're watching Hunter back there. You knew those two were the guys. You knew those guys were going to be a big problem in college football once they leveled up to Colorado. You knew that was going to be a problem. You knew big things were happening. The feet, he's light on his feet. He's more mobile than advertised. A lot of people got him pegged as like a Drew Bledsoe, like throughout the draft season. A lot of people talking about how he was like slower coming out of the pocket, but he's got some ability. He's not Mike Vick, obviously, but he can shake loose. Definitely can do that better than Flacco. And the thing about him is, you know, the talent's there. It's an upside play. It's an upside play. He's a rookie. You do have to admit he's a rookie. You do have to admit that. He's a rookie quarterback. Rookies need time to develop, especially rookie quarterbacks. Not all of them are going to go nuclear in the first year, first season, and this is also the Browns. This could be also his dress rehearsal for his new team in the future if he continues to stack days. And the one thing you want to watch throughout training camp is if he's stacking days, day in, day out, looking good at practice, getting it done, having an 80% completion rate. If that continues and they're not pushing him up, then you know that the writing's on the wall. Like, this is going to materialize with another team somewhere down the road. Like, you just know. Like, if he's continuing to stack days, doesn't get his opportunity, that's just going to materialize to another team. Like, all that's going to get out. Like, that's all going to get out. It is so broadcast right now, that's going to get out. So that's in the realm of possibilities, that he even looks good and still doesn't get his opportunity. That's part of it. But I look for multiple quarterbacks starting this year, and I look for him to be one of them. And then we got to see what happens from there. But I look for multiple quarterbacks to start this season. I would not be surprised, just by watching this coaching staff, how they talk and react to things, that they covet Kenny Pickett more than they should. You know how I feel about him. But I do have a feeling of this coaching staff. But I feel like Shedeur Sanders will get his moment this year. And if it doesn't happen, as long as he continues to stack days in training camp, that's why training camp is very important for him. That's why it's very important for him. That if he continues to play well in training camp, no string of bad days, he can probably have one or two, but no string of bad days, like what he's been doing wire to wire, rookie camp to mini camp, all this offseason, then he's going to get an opportunity somewhere else, and that might be best for him. That might be best for him, because this is the Browns. This is the Cleveland Browns. That's one thing you got to know. And the Cleveland Browns are going to continue to do what they're always going to do. They're in purgatory at quarterback, and this might be just an audition for him. Again, I'm working through strep, so some words are going to come out funny. It feels funny. But Shedeur Sanders, working hard this offseason. So working hard through the clips. We see this every time. Every moment. We're seeing him work behind the scenes with Flacco. We're hearing stories of them being buddy-buddy. Flacco's teaching them some things. Flacco's taking him under his wing. Maybe you need to get under his wing for a few things. Flacco's teaching him some stuff, prepping him for the NFL. Flacco's a good dude. Flacco's helping him out. We're hearing that from the coaching staff. He's early in the building every day. He's hard at work. Let's see what happens in training camp. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.